The dining room smelled like roasted turkey, and the perfume my sister Vanessa always wore something expensive and floral that she claimed was French. She sat at the head of the table in Mom's old spot, the one that had been empty since Mom passed 3 years ago. I sat near the kitchen door, my usual position. 15 people filled the chairs around the extended table, Vanessa and her husband Derek, my brother Marcus and his wife Jen, Aunt Caroline, Uncle Pete, their 3 kids, Grandma Helenos, and various cousins whose names I sometimes mixed up because I only saw them once a year. The turkey sat golden in the center, surrounded by dishes everyone had brought. Everyone except me. I'd been assigned roller store-bought because Vanessa said she didn't want me wasting time making them from scratch. Before we eat, Vanessa announced, standing up and smoothing her cream silk blouse, I'd like us to join hands for grace. Everyone reached for each other's hands. I took Cousin Amy's hand on my left and Grandma Helen's papery fingers on my right. Vanessa closed her eyes. Dear Lord, thank you for bringing our family together on this day of gratitude. Thank you for your many blessings. Standard Thanksgiving prayer. I'd heard some version of it every year since childhood. And we ask that you help those among us who struggle, Vanessa continued, and something in her tone made my eyes open. Those who haven't found their path yet, those who constantly need help and support from their family. My stomach dropped. We pray that they learn to stand on their own 2 feet, she said, her voice taking on that particular tone, one she used when she wanted to sound concerned, but was actually being cruel. That they stop being a burden to those around them, that they find the strength to support themselves instead of always asking others for handouts. Marcus shifted uncomfortably in his seat. Jen stared at her plate. We pray especially for those who claim to be struggling but somehow always find money for frivolous things, Vanessa went on. Help them learn responsibility. Help them stop begging. Amen, I said loudly, dropping Grandma's and Amy's hands. Vanessa's eyes snapped open. I wasn't finished. Yes, you were. I reached into my purse and pulled out my phone. My hands weren't shaking. That was the strange part. I felt unnaturally calm. Chloe, what are you? Vanessa started. You want to talk about begging? I said, my voice level and clear, about people who constantly need help. Let's talk about it. I opened my banking app, pulled up my records for years of meticulously organized transactions because I was an accountant and keeping records was what I did. Vanessa, I said, looking directly at her. What's your mortgage payment? Her face went red. That's private. Private? $2,847, I said. Monthly. That's what it was when you bought the house 4 years ago. I know because I've been paying it. The silence was sudden and absolute. What? Derek's voice was sharp. He looked at his wife. What is she talking about? I started scrolling through my phone. August 2020. You called me crying, said Derek's commission check didn't come through and you were going to miss your mortgage payment. Chloe, stop. Vanessa's voice was strangled. September 2020, same thing. October. November. December. I looked up at Derek. By January, she stopped calling it an emergency. She just texted me the first of every month. Can you cover it again? And I did. Derek had gone pale. Vanessa. For years, I said. 48 months. $136,656 in mortgage payments. Aunt Caroline gasped. But wait, I continued. My voice still calm, still steady. There's more. Because the mortgage wasn't the only thing. I scrolled further. Car payment for the Range Rover. $892 per month. I've paid that for 3 years. $32,112. Vanessa was gripping the edge of the table so hard her knuckles were white. Private school tuition for Madison and Tyler. $2,400 per month combined. I've covered that for 2 years. $57,600. What? Uncle Pete leaned forward. You said you got a scholarship. Country club dues, I interrupted. $450 per month for 30 months. $13,500. I looked at Marcus. He was staring at Vanessa like he'd never seen her before. Home insurance, $245 per month, $11,760 over 4 years. Chloe, please. Vanessa's voice was barely a whisper. That wine-tasting trip to Napa you posted all over Instagram last spring, the one where you thanked your amazing husband for the surprise? $4,800. I paid for it. Jesus Christ, Derek said. The kitchen renovation, the one with the marble countertops and custom cabinets, $31,000. I financed it. I set my phone down on the table with a soft click. Total, $119,463. That's how much I've paid over the last 4 years to support your lifestyle while you told everyone I was the one who couldn't get my life together. Vanessa's mouth opened and closed like a fish. You want to talk about begging? I said. About always asking for help. You've called me 127 times in 4 years asking for money. 127 times. Vanessa, I have the call logs to prove it. For years, I was going to pay you back, she said desperately. I just needed time. You've had for years. Not once, not one single time did you pay me back, even $1. But you found money for designer purses. For spa days, for that $800 haircut you got last month that you posted about on Facebook. I looked around the table. Everyone was staring at Vanessa with various expressions of shock and disgust. And today, I continued, during Thanksgiving grace, in front of our entire family, you decided to call me a beggar. To say I'm always asking for handouts. To imply I'm irresponsible with money. I didn't mean Vanessa started. Yes, you did. You meant exactly what you said. Because it's easier to make me look like a failure than to admit the truth. That's your perfect life. Your perfect house. Your perfect kids and private school, all of it is built on my money. Derek stood up slowly. How did I not know about this? Because I didn't tell you, Vanessa said, tears starting to stream down her face. You were stressed about work, and I didn't want to worry you. You didn't want me to know you were bleeding your sister dry, he said, his voice cold. It was supposed to be temporary. Vanessa's voice rose. Just until your commissions picked up again. My commissions have been fine for 3 years, Derek shouted. We could have been paying our own bills. But we needed to maintain appearances, Vanessa said desperately. Everyone expected us to have a certain lifestyle, so you stole from your sister to keep up appearances. Aunt Caroline's voice was ice. I didn't steal. I borrowed. I was going to pay her back. When? I asked quietly. When were you going to pay me back, Vanessa? Before or after you used Thanksgiving prayer to humiliate me in front of the whole family? She didn't answer. I picked up my phone again, opened my banking app and started canceling scheduled payments. One by one, each cancellation took 3 taps. Tap, tap, tap. Mortgage payment canceled. Tap, tap, tap. Car payment canceled. Tap, tap, tap. School tuition canceled. Tap, tap, tap. Country club dues canceled. What are you doing? Vanessa's voice was panicked. I'm stopping the begging, I said. Isn't that what you prayed for? For me to stop asking for handouts? Well, good news. As of right now, I'm not giving them any more either. Chloe, wait? Wait, you can't. Your mortgage payment is due. Monday, December 1st. That's 4 days from now. We don't have $2,847. Vanessa shouted. Then I suggest you call the bank. Maybe they'll work out a payment plan. I canceled the last automatic payment and set my phone down. Actually, it's not just Monday's payment you need to worry about, I said. The school tuition is due in 2 weeks, $2,400. Car payment is due December 5th, $892. Country Club sent an email last week about the annual membership renewal. That's $5,400, due by January 1st. Vanessa's phone buzzed. Then buzzed again, then started ringing. She looked at the screen and went white. That's probably the bank, I said. They send automatic notifications when scheduled payments are canceled. They'll want to confirm you have another payment method on file. Her phone kept ringing. She didn't answer it. Marcus's voice cut through the silence. Chloe, how have you been paying all this? What do you make? Like $60,000 as an accountant. $72,000, I corrected. And I've been paying all this by not paying for anything else. I live in a studio apartment that costs $850 a month. I drive a 15-year-old Civic. I haven't taken a vacation in 4 years. I buy my clothes at Target. I eat ramen for dinner most nights because it is all I can afford after I pay Vanessa's bills. Grandma Helen made a small sound of distress. But somehow, I continued, I'm the one who's irresponsible with money. I'm the one who's always begging for help. I'm the one who needs to get my life together. I stood up. Enjoy your Thanksgiving dinner, I said. I am going to spend it with people who actually appreciate me instead of people who use me while insulting me in prayers. Chloe, please. Vanessa was crying openly now. We can talk about this. Figure something out. We can't figure anything out. Vanessa, because there's nothing to figure out. I'm done. Done paying your bills. Done being your secret ATM. Done being invisible while you take credit for a life you can't actually afford. I grabbed my coat from the hallway. Wait, Grandma Helen said softly. Chloe, honey, wait. I paused at the door. She stood up slowly, leaning on her cane, and walked over to me. Then she took off the pearl necklace she was wearing, the one Grandpa had given her on their 50th anniversary, and placed it in my hands. Your grandfather always said pearls were for strength, she said quietly. For women who know their own worth. You take these. You've earned them more than anyone at this table. My throat tightened. Grandma, I can't. You can, and you will. And Vanessa? She turned to face her other granddaughter. You should be ashamed of yourself. Treating your sister like a bank while criticizing her in public. I raised you better than that. Vanessa dissolved into sobs. Grandma Helen looked at me one more time. Go. Be with people who see you for who you really are. So I did. I drove to my best friend Rachel's house. She was hosting a Friendsgiving for people who didn't want to deal with family drama. When I walked in carrying a grocery bag full of wine, she took one look at my face and pulled me into a hug. What happened? I told her. Everything. The prayer. The records. The cancellations. The whole story. By the time I finished, her entire group of friends was gathered around listening. You paid her mortgage for 4 years. A woman named Jasmine looked horrified. While living on ramen, she called you a beggar. Another friend, David, shook his head. After you paid for her whole life? That's financial abuse, Rachel said flatly. Chloe, that's actual abuse. She's my sister. That doesn't matter. She exploited you. She manipulated you. She took $119,000 from you and then publicly humiliated you for it. That's abuse. I'd never thought of it that way. But sitting there, hearing someone say it out loud, something clicked into place. Rachel handed me a glass of wine. You're staying here tonight. We're going to eat too much food, drink too much wine, and celebrate the fact that you just got your life back. And we did. The voicemail started around 8 p.m. Vanessa, crying, Chloe, please call me back. We need to talk. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please don't do this. Derek, angry. I can't believe you didn't tell me about this. Do you have any idea what position you've put us in? We need to discuss repayment immediately. Marcus, careful. Hey, sis. That was ... intense. Call me when you can. I want to hear your side without everyone yelling Aunt Caroline, surprisingly supportive. Good for you, honey. Someone needed to put Vanessa in her place. Call me if you need anything. And one from a number I didn't recognize. Ms. Porter, this is Jennifer Kim from First National Bank. We received notification that the automatic payment for account holder Vanessa Porter has been canceled. Please contact us regarding payment arrangements. I deleted that one. Not my problem anymore. Friday morning, I woke up on Rachel's couch to 17 missed calls and 43 text messages. Most were from Vanessa. Pleading, apologizing, Bargaining? Please call me. I didn't mean what I said, it was a prayer. I wasn't talking about you specifically. Derek is furious. The bank called, we're going to lose the house. You're going to make your niece and nephew homeless. How can you be so cruel? That last one made me put the phone down. Rachel appeared with coffee. How bad? She's saying I'm making her kids homeless. Rachel snorted. She made her kids potentially homeless by spending money she didn't have for 4 years. That's not on you. I know. But she's good at making you feel guilty. That's how she got you to pay for everything in the first place. She was right. There was one text from Marcus that was different from the others. Can we meet? Just you and me. I'm not asking you for money or trying to convince you to help Vanessa. I just want to understand what happened, Coffee Monday. I thought about it, then texted back. Okay. Monday, 10 a.m. The Starbucks on 5th. Marcus was already there when I arrived Monday morning. He looked tired, older somehow than he had at Thanksgiving. Thanks for coming, he said as I sat down. Thanks for not ambushing me with Vanessa. He winced. I thought about it. She begged me to. But I figured you'd just walk out. You figured right. We sat in silence for a moment. Then Marcus spoke. Primera de no idea about any of it. I swear to God, Chloe, if I'd known what she was doing to you, you would have what? I don't know. Said something. Done. Something. Something other than sitting there like an idiot while she prayed about you being a burden. You did look uncomfortable. I wanted to die. He ran his hand through his hair. After you left, Derek went ballistic, started going through their finances. Turns out, Vanessa's been lying to him for years about their money situation. He thought they were doing fine, thought the mortgage was paid, thought they could afford the private school and the country club. And now he knows the truth. Now he knows his wife has been committing fraud. Because that's what it was, right? Taking money under false pretenses, promising to pay it back and never intending to. I sipped my coffee. I don't know if it's legally fraud, but it definitely feels like it. Derek wants to know if you're going to sue them. For what? They don't have any money. You can't get blood from a stone. What? Marcus nodded slowly. That's what I told him. But he's panicking. The mortgage payment bounced. The bank is threatening foreclosure proceedings. The kids' school tuition is past due. And if it's not paid by Friday, Madison and Tyler are getting pulled from classes. A small part of me felt guilty. A very small part. The rest of me felt ... free. What do you want from me, Marcus? If you're here to ask me to help them, I'm not. He held up his hands. I'm really not. Actually, I wanted to apologize. And to tell you something. What? I called Vanessa yesterday. Told her I'd help with 1 month of mortgage to keep them from immediate foreclosure, but only if she did 3 things. Publicly apologized to you, entered financial counseling, and admitted to the whole family what she'd done. I stared at him. What did she say? She said I was being cruel. That she'd already apologized, that you were overreacting. Of course she did. So I told her to figure it out herself. Jen and I are done enabling her bullshit. He looked at me directly. And I'm sorry I didn't see what was happening sooner. I should have noticed. Should have asked why you always looked so tired. Why you never came to family events unless it was mandatory. Why you drove that beat-up car while Vanessa posted about her luxury lifestyle. My throat tightened. Thank you for saying that. I mean it. You're my sister too. I should have protected you. We talked for another hour. He told me Derek was considering divorce not just because of the money, but because of the years of lies. He told me the kids were confused about why Aunt Chloe wasn't around anymore. What did you tell them? I asked. The truth. Age-appropriate version. That their mom borrowed a lot of money from you and didn't pay you back, and that you can't help anymore because you need to take care of yourself. How did they react? Madison asked if that's why we might have to change schools. Primera. S.I. deches. PWSI. He paused. She cried, But then she asked if you were okay, said she was sorry her mom made you sad. I had to blink back tears. She's 10, Chloe. And she saw what her mother couldn't. That you matter too. The foreclosure proceedings took 90 days. During that time, I got updates from Marcus not because I asked, but because he thought I should know. Vanessa and Derek were selling the house. They found a buyer willing to pay enough to cover the remaining mortgage and give them a small amount left over. They were moving into a 3-bedroom apartment. Rent was $2,200 a month, still more than they could comfortably afford. But Vanessa refused to go smaller. The kids were transferring to public school. The Range Rover was being traded in for a used Honda. The country club membership was cancelled. In other words, they were living the life they could actually afford. Finally, Vanessa tried to reach out several times. Long emails explaining herself, voice messages apologizing, text messages asking if we could talk. I didn't respond to any of them. Then, in February, I got a letter in the mail, handwritten on expensive stationery the kind Vanessa always used. Chloe, I know you don't want to hear from me. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. But I need to try to explain. When Mom died, I felt like I had to be her. The perfect hostess, the perfect mother, the perfect sister. I had to hold the family together, had to make everything beautiful and right. But I couldn't afford to be her. Mom and Dad had money we don't have. And instead of accepting that, instead of adjusting my expectations, I tried to fake it. I borrowed from you because I was desperate to maintain an image that was never real. I told myself it was temporary, that I'd pay you back once Derek's commissions improved, once we caught up. But the truth is, I got addicted to the lifestyle, to the feeling of having everything look perfect even when it wasn't. And somewhere along the way, I started resenting you for it. For having money when I needed it, for being financially stable while I was drowning, for making me feel dependent. So I lashed out. I made you the problem, instead of facing the fact that I was the problem. I called you irresponsible and needy and desperate, because that's how I felt, and it was easier to project it onto you than to admit the truth. I'm not asking you to forgive me. I'm not asking you to give me another chance. I just wanted you to know that I see now what I did. How I hurt you, how I used you, how I took advantage of your kindness and your love. You deserved better. You deserved a sister who appreciated you, who saw you, who valued you for more than your bank account. I'm in therapy now, working on myself, trying to figure out why I needed external validation so badly that I destroyed my relationship with my sister to get it. I hope you're well. I hope you're happy. I hope you're finally spending your money on yourself and building the life you deserve. I'm so sorry. Vanessa, I read the letter 3 times. Then I put it in a drawer and went about my day. It was a good apology. Probably sincere. But apologies don't erase 4 years of exploitation. They don't give me back the savings I should have. They don't undo the damage. Maybe someday I'd be ready to respond. But not yet. Spring came. I got a raise at work, $15,000 more per year. For the first time in 4 years, that money was actually mine. I moved out of my studio into a 1-bedroom with a real kitchen and in-unit laundry. I bought a new car, nothing fancy, just a reliable Honda that didn't require constant repairs. I started a retirement account and set up automatic contributions. And I booked a vacation to Portugal for October. Rachel was coming with me. 10 days, she said excitedly while we planned. Lisbon, Porto, the Algarve coast. Good food, good wine, and absolutely no family drama. Sounds perfect. My phone buzzed. A text from Marcus. Madison's birthday is next month. She asked if you'd come. No pressure. Vanessa will be there, but I'll make sure she doesn't bother you. Madison really wants to see you. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I typed back, I'll think about it. Another text came through, this time from an unknown number. I almost deleted it, then curiosity won. Ms. Porter, this is Derek. I know I have no right to contact you, but I wanted you to know that IVA set up a payment plan to repay what Vanessa borrowed from you. It's going to take years, but I'm committed to making this right. First payment of $500 is being wired to your account today. You should see it in 3-5 business days. You deserve to get your money back. I checked my banking app 3 days later. Sure enough, there was a transfer. $500 from Derek Porter. In the memo line, he'd written, payment 1 of 239 payments. That was almost 20 years of $500 monthly payments. He was serious. I called Marcus. Did you know Derek set up a repayment plan? Yeah. He told me last week. Said he can't undo what Vanessa did, but he can at least try to make the financial part right. It's going to take him 20 years. He knows. He said he doesn't care. Said it's the principle of it. I didn't know what to say to that. I didn't go to Madison's birthday party. I wasn't ready for that yet, but I did send her a card with a $50 gift certificate to her favorite bookstore. Inside, I wrote, Dear Madison, happy 11th birthday. I'm sorry I can't be there, but I'm thinking of you. I heard you're going to a new school. I hope you're making lots of new friends. Use this to buy any books you want. My favorite books when I was your age were the ones about smart girls who stood up for themselves. I think you'd like them too. Love. And Chloe. 2 days later, I got a letter back. Child's handwriting on lined notebook paper. Dear Aunt Chloe. Thank you for the gift card. I bought 3 books. One is about a girl who becomes an astronaut even though everyone says she can't. I'm sorry my mom was mean to you. She cried a lot when you left. Dad says she's learning to be better. I hope so, because I miss you. My new school is okay. The kids are nice. I don't have as many friends as before, but that's okay. Dad says, real friends like you, for who you are, not what you have. Can I write to you sometimes? Even if you don't want to see Mom yet. I promise I won't ask you for money or anything. I just miss talking to you. Love, Madison, I cried reading that letter. Then I wrote back, Dear Madison, of course you can write to me. Anytime you want. Love, Aunt Chloe. 6 months later, I'm sitting on a balcony in Lisbon, drinking wine and watching the sunset over the Tagus River. Rachel is inside calling her girlfriend. The air is warm and smells like salt water and grilled sardines from the restaurant below. My phone buzzes. A text from Marcus with a photo attached. It's Madison and Tyler at their new school's science fair. Madison is standing next to a volcano model, grinning proudly. Tyler is holding a ribbon that says 3rd place. They're doing good. Thought you'd want to know. I smile and text back. Thanks for sending. Tell them I'm proud of them. Another text comes through. This one from Grandma Helen. How's Portugal? Beautiful. You'd love it. Good. You deserve beautiful things, sweetheart. Don't forget that. I won't. Because the thing about being invisible for so long is that when you finally step into the light, you appreciate it so much more. Every sunset feels like a gift. Every meal you didn't have to cook for someone else tastes better. Every dollar you spend on yourself feels like a small act of revolution. I'm not fully healed. I still have moments where I feel guilty for setting boundaries. Still have days where I wonder if I was too harsh. But then, I remember Vanessa's prayer. Her public humiliation, 4 years of taking my money while criticizing my life choices. And I remember that I didn't do anything wrong. I just finally did something right. I chose myself. My phone buzzes again. Another payment notification from Derek. $500. Payment number 6. Only 233 more to go. I open my banking app and look at my savings account. For the first time in 4 years, the balance is growing instead of shrinking. $8,000 so far. By the end of the year, I'll have $15,000 saved. It's not the $119,463 I gave away, but it's mine. All mine. And that makes all the difference. The sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink and gold. Rachel comes back out with 2 more glasses of wine. To Portugal, she says, raising her glass. 2, Portugal, I agree. And 2, never paying your sister's mortgage again. I laughed. I'll definitely drink to that. We clink glasses, and I take a sip, And somewhere between the wine and the sunset, and the sound of fado music drifting up from the street below, I realize something. I'm happy. Not pretend happy. Not making the best Effie. Actually, genuinely, deeply happy. For the first time in 4 years, I'm living my life instead of funding someone else's. And it feels like coming home.